Hey, this is about, of all things, a snake, a bird, a pig, and a dog. Yesterday I had a conversation with a hypnotherapist, and our conversation, strangely enough, reminded me about this story that involves an abbot, an elderly monk, and four of his closest, strongest proteges. He was teaching them about perception and about the elements and how to use them. One day, he brought them into a darkened barn where no light could enter, and it was unbelievably dark, and they couldn't see. So the abbot guided these four monks around, and he said to each one in turn, reach out and tell me what truth you see. Reach out and tell me what truth you see. And this is what they did. Reach out, the abbot called. And the first monk grasped something that was long and cylindrical and writhing, and he said, you are reminding me about the truth of water. You are reminding me about adaptability. For this is a serpent, a snake. And it calls me to my nature as water and my ability to move into every form, taking the shape of any vessel I choose. I can be moist, I can be wet, I can be strong, I can be weak. Very good, the abbot said. Reach out, he said to the second monk. And the second monk said, you are teaching me the truth about air, for I feel a gust about me, and you are reminding me of the lesson of lightness and ease. You remind me of the story said once of angels, where the reason why angels could fly is that they took themselves lightly. For this is a bird. Very good, the abbot said to the second monk. Reach out, he said to the third monk. And the third monk felt a large barrel of a torso of an animal that was moving with each breath. It was somewhat cold and somewhat warm, and he said, you were reminding me of the truth of the earth and what it is to be grounded. For this is a very large pig, swine, that communes with the earth itself. Very good, the abbot said. And reach out, the abbot called to the last of the four monks. And the last of the four monks said, you are reminding me of the truth of fire, of warmth and affection. For this is a puppy. It's a small dog. And you remind me what it is to be human, even though we aim for the divine. For it is only in humanity that we see full divinity. Very good, the abbot said. Whereupon he said, close your eyes and allow them to gently open and adjust as I bring the light in. The abbot opens his hands and the light fills the room. And gently the monks begin to see that what's in front of them was not four different things, was not of the four elements. What was in front of them was an elephant. One touched the tusk, one touched the ears and felt the breeze, one felt the body of the elephant, and one felt the tuft of the end of the tail. And in that moment, they realized they spoke of the same thing. And this story reminds me so much about misguided notions of perception and clarity of perception or clarity of seeing. You see, the hypnotherapist I was speaking with the other day, when we talked about clean languaging, had his own interpretation of what clean languaging was, even though he's been exposed to it a year ago. He had his own interpretation based on the words with which each clean language process was described. So there was a part where the clean language process is connector. And he thought of being a hypnotherapist, he thought of connecting words like and, therefore. And I pointed out that that wasn't it. That clean language was about clean language. It was about the ability to not make connections or generalizations for your patient or client. It's about seeing how things actually are. Clean language is actually about eliciting or calling forth a person's internal metaphors, their internal understanding, which they may not even have clear. They may not even realize that that's how they see it. And so we had this entire discussion, and then I explained it to him, and then he said, "Oh yeah, that's right. I've gotten it like 90% wrong. I took it in a completely different direction." I said, "Yeah, that's right." So I was kind of glad that he got it, but I felt that something was off. So I spoke with him again to clarify, and this time I gave him an experience of clean languaging. I asked him one question, and the question was entirely invisible to him. And using that one question, which he couldn't even remember, he was able to tell me exactly how it felt when a certain particular something that happened to him happened. And he was able to realize in that moment that he has been taking that event in an entirely different way than he originally thought. Like, he didn't understand how deeply rooted the event was and how painful it was. And without introducing any notions coming from me, I was able to create the space for him to speak very clearly what that event felt like on the deepest levels. And this causes a level of realization not possible otherwise. And that's a gift of clean perception, of clean languaging. And that's why I like using clean languaging. If you have a clear mind and are completely present and you use clean languaging, you're able to hear from patients, from clients, things which weren't even clear to them. And you're able to see things as they actually are, not as you imagine or perceive or delude them to be. And so you're actually able to see a person fully and then truly help them. And this takes me back to the story. Because fascinatingly, another thing that clean languaging allows you to do is be like water, fluid and adaptable, take like the air, to be light in your stride, in your step, because you don't come with preconceived notions. To be like the earth, grounded and stable and unshaken, because you know that there's a truth there that the patient speaks, and you don't need to defend yourself against it, and you don't need to introduce your own biases. And finally, of fire, of warmth, because clean languaging enables you to see a person so fully. There's like a kind rapport of affection that comes through precisely because you're not filtering yourself or your patient. And I hope this little story has been fun and insightful for you, and I hope to see you at our upcoming workshop for conversational hypnosis, where we'll be studying intensively some of the beautiful clean languaging patterns that we've grown to love and master over the last decade. See you then.